Hey guys, this is my first YouTube video. My name is Jess, and I want to talk to everybody about my spiritual experience finding God. I feel like I'm called to explain to people my life and how I came across finding God and the signs that He's been given me. Um, so to get started, it basically all started happening when I was in 5th grade. I lost my dad to melanoma. He passed away of skin cancer. And during that time, I was living with my mom and her boyfriend, and they used to drink a lot. Alcoholism was a main factor in their relationship, and it came so bad to the point that my mom used to be abusive. And I'll never forget the one night I was sleeping. Well, I wasn't sleeping. I was in my bed and I was watching TV. And all of a sudden, my TV had just turned off. And I got really scared because it never happened to me before. And I went running out in the living room to my mom's boyfriend at the time. And I was just about to tell him how scared I was that the TV turned off. And in that moment, my mom was coming home. She worked as a bartender. And the door opened and she was drunk, saw that I was awake, and she had drugged me down the hallway into my room and basically kind of just beat the crap out of me. And I look back on that as I kind of felt like that was my dad. If he was around, turning the TV off, telling me to go to bed, mom's coming home. So then after that, it started getting a little bit crazier. My mom had kept me home from school. Now that I'm in 7th grade at this point, she kept me home from school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And she would say to me that she had this feeling that her boyfriend Michael was going to come in and kill her. And she'd always say to me, I'm going to be with your father before you know it. And now I'm in 7th grade. I really didn't know what she was talking about, why she was saying these things. I just thought that alcoholism kind of got to her a little bit. And so anyways, I was home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday morning, she woke me up and she basically said to me, get up, get your ass ready for school. And I was kind of blown away by this because I'm thinking, oh man, I'm going to go in on Friday and I'm going to get all my homework assignments for the weekend. Like, this pretty much sucks. So she ends up dropping me off for school. And that day, it actually something was like hitting me in my stomach. I felt really sick. I went to the nurse. The nurse tried calling my mom and nobody answered. So later on that day, I was waiting for my mom to pick me up at my aunt's house, and she wasn't answering the phone. She wasn't coming. And I had called my sister at this time and I asked her if she could pick me up and take me home. We had just figured that mom got drunk and passed out, forgot to pick me up. So when we ended up going to the apartment complex, we noticed that her car was gone. So my sister walked me inside to unlock the door for me, and when we walked in, all I remember seeing is there was broken glass all over the floor. I put my book bag down. Now, I was very lucky because I didn't see anything. My sister had walked ahead to go find Mom if she was in the house, and she ended up turning around as fast as can be, grabbed me out of the house. All I remember is I screamed at the top of my lungs because I knew something wasn't right, and for my sister to react in such a way, it all just happened very fast. And I remember we flew down the apartment stairs and we came outside, and my sister just basically said to me that somebody was on the floor in the kitchen, and she said she didn't know who it was, but she thought that she saw their arm move, and she's telling me, stay here, we're going to call 911. So she got her boyfriend at the time to go in with her. They called 911. And when I was standing outside, there was a dogwood tree. And if you look up the symbolization of a dogwood tree, it's known to signify the wounds of Jesus Christ, for his hands and his feet, the shape of the petal of the flower. And I remember at that moment, I kind of had like what seemed like an out-of-body experience. I felt very peaceful and very calm. I still was unaware of what was going on. Everything seemed so surreal. And in this moment, it was like the dogwood flowers were falling down around me and like circling me in this moment. And all I hear was an outstretched echo of sirens and police coming. And my sister had pulled me inside. We went across to the neighbor's house, and she had basically told me, she pulled me in the bedroom, and her words to me were that Mom was in heaven with Dad now. And I remember I fainted. It's not something that you want to hear every day. But the basic story of this is I guess that day, they both drank a lot, and he ended up stabbing her 22 times, and she died in the kitchen. And that was like the first thing for me that really made me think differently, because why did she keep me home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Why that Friday didn't she wake me up and tell me I had to go to school? If I was in that house, who knows what could have happened? He could have killed me too. And then, so all of this went on, and they ended up finding him at a hotel in Easton. And so basically, he ended up pleading guilty, and he was sentenced to, I believe it was 7 to 14 years in prison. And the day before he came up for parole, we had received a call from the prison that they didn't know what happened, but basically it was something out of the ordinary, that his organ, I want to say appendix, I'm not too sure what it was, had inflamed. They said to the size of like a football before it burst, and he ended up dying in jail. So this was the moment where we basically said, our past is officially our past. I kind of went through a really hard rough patch in my life, because I always attended Catholic school. I believed in God. I knew there was a God. But my take on everything was, why is this happening to me as a child? Why did I lose my father? Why did I lose my mother? Why, is this happening to me when I never did anything wrong? So basically, my sister ended up taking me in, and I went to high school then. And all throughout high school, it was okay. Don't say I was popular. I guess I was in the middle group. So I basically took this one theology class, and the teacher had showed us this video of this man who was basically saying to us that God speaks to us when we ask him questions, but we just need to open our eyes, our ears, and our heart to any coincidences that happen around us. And I remember I was very intrigued by this video. I didn't test it out or anything, but I just thought it was pretty cool, that if God was real, that he does talk to us. So then, shortly out of high school, I became pregnant at the age of 19. I ended up having a beautiful little girl, and her father had lived out of state. So I ended up moving from my sister's house to out of state to try and make things work, and basically it didn't. It was just a total fail for reasons that I won't get into on here in case he ever sees it. But so I ended up coming back home, and my great aunts, they were elderly, they're in their 80s. The one, her name was Helen, and she basically started to become legally blind. So she had to leave her house and move in with her sister. So they kind of lived with each other, took care of each other. And she said to me, Jessie, I want you to stay in my house. You have a daughter now. I want you to be settled, and get on with your life and just be okay. So it was a complete blessing for me. I ended up moving into her house. Now it was just me and my daughter at the time. And this is where things started taking a different turn for me. Basically, I would have, my friends come over and whatever. We'd have, fun nights. And I would take pictures of them. They would take pictures of me. And what we started noticing was, in these pictures, orbs. Okay? Orbs. So here we go. The whole topic of orbs. Now, I understand people say, okay, it could be dust that's just floating by the camera, or other people say that they feel like it's spirits around us that are trying to be made known. I did a lot of research on this because I was kind of freaking out. So in these pictures, these orbs would always be around me and my daughter, and they would never be in pictures of anybody else. So I'm starting to freak out now because, one, either my house is really dusty, or two, it's spirits that are around me and my daughter, and either, watching over us or whatever. So now, when we're looking into this, we decide to do this little experiment where my friends take pictures of me in a spot, I'll take pictures of them in a spot, and we compare what's going on. And basically, what was happening is these orbs are showing up around me and not around my friends. But the second my friends start believing that, okay, there's stuff around us, like what is going on? Why is Jess getting these in her pictures? Once they acknowledged it, I'm telling you right now, the orbs started showing up in pictures around them. So I'm like intrigued by this. I'm excited. I'm like, whoa, this is so cool, what's going on? But at the same time, I knew that this is against, I guess, my religion in a sense, that we're not supposed to believe, in the supernatural and other things that are around us. But at the same time, I was opening my eyes to think that other things are going on in this world that we're unaware of. So then things started getting a little bit more crazy. My sister, who, God bless her heart, I love her to death, she's just completely, like, she believes in God, but she's completely against, the whole sense of, okay, things are going to happen around us that are coincidences or whatnot. So it all started with a weekend. We went camping, and my nephew, he's like 13 years old, we were doing those shimmer tattoos, and I ended up getting a shimmer tattoo, and I said, John, get a picture of me. So I put my hand up like this. He goes to take a picture of me, and it was one of the cameras where, the picture comes back on to show you, and he's going, what is that? And I said, what? He goes, I don't know. He goes, it looks like it's like snowing around you. There's all these white circles. And at that moment, I was like, thank you, God. Like, this is crazy right now. My nephew is seeing what's going on. So here's the first picture I have to show you guys. I'm going to try and hold it in a light so that you could see. There I am in my little Bambi shirt holding up my shimmer tattoo, and kind of take a look around. So, okay. So this is happening, and I'm calling my sister over. I said, Jen, come look at this. She's telling me, there's probably bugs and stuff around. What are you doing? What are you seeing? Like, that's just, okay, whatever. And I said, oh, really? I said, how about you take a picture of me? And I stopped for a minute, and I said in my head, in a prayer to God, I said, God, I really want to show my sister that there's things behind us that we're unaware of. Help her to open her mind to realize, that there could be possibly other things going on in the world. So here she goes to take another picture of me. And this one was a little bit crazier because now, like, you look at here, there's like 100 of them all around. And she's looking at it, and she says to me, all right, Jessie, she goes, you want to see spots? She goes, I'm going to show you spots. She goes to sit down. She's like, take a picture of me. Okay, Jen, here you are. Take a picture of you. I don't see anything. So now my sister's friend, Heather, was there as well, and I was explaining to her. Same thing. She's iffy. She doesn't believe it. She says, hey, Jessie, take a picture of me. Go to take a picture of her. Nothing. So my heart's racing now because I'm realizing that there's something going on. I feel like I gotta make this known to people. Like, we need to believe. I don't know in what yet. Well, in God, definitely, but in what this whole orb thing is, I just don't know. So my sister's friend Heather says, she goes, this is crazy. She goes, let me just get a picture of you. She goes, maybe it has something to do with the person that's taking the picture. And my sister's going, why are you even wasting your time? You're not going to get another picture like that. So here Heather goes to take a picture of me. She looks at the camera and she goes, oh my gosh. She goes, it's right above your head. So here I am. And the orb is right above my head. So now, my sister's telling me, because my Bambi shirt had glitter on it, okay? She's going, oh, it's got to be the glitter. It's got to be the glitter on your shirt. Like, this is a little weird. It's got to be the glitter. So I take off my shirt. I have an undershirt underneath. She goes to take a picture of me. And check it out. There's orbs all around me again. So she says, step out of the picture right now. She goes, I'm going to take a picture of the background of the darkness. She goes, maybe that's what's doing it. Okay? Here we are. Blackness. Nothing. So I thought that was pretty darn cool. So I knew at this moment something is going on. I'm open to it. It's around me. I need to show other people. And yeah, I mean, it was really cool. So this is all happening at my house, when we're going out, wherever I am. These things are showing up. It's showing up on my daughter. So I start looking into it a little bit more, and I kind of started getting a little scared now, because I'm thinking, what if there's ghosts? You know, what if I'm just opening myself to a completely different world, and now they're all around me? So I end up calling my Aunt Jeannie, who was my mom's twin sister. She's a very spiritual woman, and she ends up giving me some awesome advice to go do. And I want you guys to go check out my second video that has to do with God's first sign to me that He's real. So once you're done watching this video, go check out my second video that I'm going to be posting about my first sign from God. And I hope you guys, are enjoying this, because this is fun for me. I feel like I am meant to explain my situation in the world. I totally wanted to write a book about it. I feel like I'm good at writing, but it's very time consuming, and I feel like our generation now is all about technology. So here I am, I'm putting myself out there, and I know that there's going to be a couple people that bash what I have to say, and that's fine. I don't feel like I have to prove myself to anybody. I had a number of strong coincidences, if you would call them, that to this day, I'm just receiving signs from God. And yet, I'm just still trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with it. But He's talking to me, guys, and it's awesome. So go watch my next video, and I'll explain a little bit more. All right, take care.